Today I want to discuss quiet quitting, which is a buzzword that's been flying around social media. The original description of the word was people who are doing their jobs, but they are only sticking to their job description. They're not doing any more work. They are just doing what is expected of them within the description. Some people find this extremely lazy. Other people see it as looking after their mental well-being. But I want to look at it from the perspective of autistic individuals in the workplace and how quiet quitting actually is just a survival technique for so many autistic individuals and people like myself. I hope you enjoyed the video, but let's get into it. The term quiet quitting blew up on TikTok and other social media platforms, and despite the name, it's not actually about quitting our jobs. It's about quitting the idea that you have to constantly go above and beyond, putting in extra hours, taking on extra work, and making work the centre of your life. The internet is kind of split. Critics say it's a bad attitude, that it shows that you're not committed, but supporters say it's about protecting your mental health, avoiding burnout. And either way, it clearly touches a lot of nerve, because in so many workplaces there's an unspoken expectation to be endlessly available and to constantly prove your worth. This is where the autism comes into the picture. Autistic people often approach work in a very direct and literal way. We follow the rules, we stick to our tasks, and we like clear instructions. You tell us exactly what to do and we will do that. If the job description says that we're responsible for a certain set of duties and you haven't told us to do something else, the duties that are set out are what we will focus on. But the tricky part is most workplaces don't just run off official rules. Just like communication, there are so many unspoken and unwritten rules. Things like staying late so you look committed, volunteering for projects outside your role, showing up to after-hours social events to be seen as part of the team. For some autistic people, all of that extra unspoken stuff can be exhausting. We might mask, meaning we hide our natural way of communicating or interacting just to fit in, but masking takes a huge amount of energy, and when you combine that with all of the hidden demands, burnout can come fast. Unfortunately, there is also the issue of autistic or ADHD neurodivergent people attempting to do an amazing job and trying to give 1000% without taking breaks or without fully being capable of giving 1000%, and we do end up eventually burning out and then being accused of not actually being able to do the job that we are supposed to be doing, despite the fact that we've been doing the job we're supposed to do plus a lot of extra work. That's why for some autistic people, working exactly to the job description isn't a rebellious statement. It's the only way to keep going without completely running out of energy, burning out, or ending up in a situation where we are unable to attend work and end up off sick. And that's obviously not a place that anybody wants to be, especially not in this economy. Here's how it often plays out. We start the job, we want to do well, so we try and meet every expectation, written or unwritten. We stay late, we take on extra work, we mask our differences, and we push ourselves to be the perfect employee. And we'll often be told we are excellent, we work so hard, we are great employees, we are the employee's example of what an employee should be. And then we hit a wall: sensory overload, extreme fatigue, anxiety, depression, burnout. I've been there so many times. I've talked about this on this channel before. This has been a cycle I have been stuck in. Even in school, it wasn't just a work life and it just suddenly appeared during work. It's something that I struggled with in school. I would do excellent, then I would burn out, I would be off for months, I would come back, I would try again, and it was a cycle that continued, and it led to me missing a lot of schooling. For us, quiet quitting isn't about slacking off, it's about not sacrificing our health for the sake of looking extra committed. If I'm doing the job that I am being paid for, why should I be told that I'm not doing good enough just because I'm not overextending or overexerting myself to do extra things that actually don't give me any extra money, any higher job role? I think that it should be completely accepted to come to work, do the job you're paying for, and go home. But unfortunately, this 24-hour work life that we live in, unfortunately, in this capital society, doesn't account for people doing that, and those who do that are often seen as lazy or incapable. For some neurotypical people, quiet quitting is a choice. It's almost a protest against overworked culture. But for autistic people, it's often not a choice at all. It's a default setting. It's how we protect ourselves from burnout before it becomes unmanageable. And sometimes it's a safety net once we have pushed ourselves too far. The problem is so many workplaces reward overextension. They celebrate people who work long hours, who take on more than they should, who seem constantly on, who never have sick days, who never take holidays. And if you don't do that, you risk being seen as less dedicated. Here's the truth. Working within your boundaries is not quitting. It's protecting your ability to keep working at all. It's about creating sustainable pace so that you can actually do your job well without destroying your health. So what would a healthy workplace look like? For starters, having clear written job expectations that don't shift without notice. Respecting employees' boundaries without pushing them for not going above and beyond every single day, offering flexible schedules or sensory accommodations where needed, and valuing the quality of someone's work over how busy that they look. Instead of calling it quiet quitting, maybe we should call it sustainable engagement, because that's really what it is. It's a way of working that prioritises long-term well-being over short bursts of overwork. You may have someone who works well above their usual standards, but how long can they actually keep that up for? And the amount of time you may possibly lose that person because of the burnout actually outweighs the benefit of having substandard work, where you could have somebody who does what they are supposed to within their means, but the work that they provide is quality work and that person's well-being is taken care of, and then they don't require that additional time to recover from the overexertion. Here's my takeaway. Quiet quitting isn't actually quitting. For autistic people, it's often been our survival strategy long before it had a catchy name on TikTok. It's not about being lazy or unmotivated. It's about protecting ourselves from a system that can easily push us past our limits. I'm curious, if you are autistic or neurodivergent, have you ever been accused of not trying hard enough or being lazy or disengaging when really you were just trying to protect your energy and keep yourself healthy? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. Like I always say, please can we keep the comments a positive section. I don't mind people who disagree with me, and I don't mind people who would like to discuss things, but we don't have to do that in a nasty way. I want the comment section to be a safe and healthy place for everybody to share their own opinions. That is everything for now. Please let me know what you would like to see next. Again, I am very grateful for all of you watching this video today, and I will see you next time. Bye.